Earlier this season, we lost our starting quarterback, Kirk Cousins, to a season-ending Achilles injury. It was a brutal one. It was one that made you go, well, there goes our season, because I think at that point we're like 1-4 or something like that. It just, nothing was going our way, to say the least, right? So we started looking forward to next year. However, one of those things we have to look forward to is a potential re-signing of Kirk Cousins, and it might actually happen, right? We're going to keep Justin Jefferson happy, which means we'd also have to let go of Danielle Hunter if we do decide to bring in Kirk Cousins, unless, the higher-ups in the organization, the GM and stuff, obviously they're a lot smarter than me, so maybe they could figure out a way to keep Danielle Hunter and all three of these guys, basically Justin, Kirk Cousins, and Danielle Hunter. But we have to look at who's going to be our quarterback for not only next season, but basically going into the future, because if it is Cousins, right, he's going to want to sign a multi-year deal. It's going to be a 2-year, 3-year type deal. I said that earlier in the season a couple times. Like, Kirk, if we re-sign Kirk, he's going to want a 3-year deal, fully guaranteed and stuff like that. Well, we're going to take a deeper look, a closer look at the Kirk Cousins possibility of re-signing with the Minnesota Vikings, if that's the decision, if that's the way our organization decides to go, which, in my opinion, if I'm looking from the outside in, that's kind of what it seems like. We'll probably roll with Kirk Cousins, draft somebody new, a J.J. McCarthy, a Jaden McDaniels, or Jaden Daniels, and have them kind of learn the system a little bit, learn the ropes under Kirk Cousins. So we're going to take a look at the current situation of how Kirk Cousins is feeling through that process, and what we look forward to for next season, or if we do sign him to a contract. But before we do that, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We're only 7 subs away from 1,100. Let's try to get that by Christmas Day. Only a couple days, right? Next Monday, so make sure to subscribe. Anyways, let's get right to it. Kirk Cousins and the possibility of re-signing with the Minnesota Vikings. Now, going on 8 weeks removed from surgery, Kirk Cousins spoke about his rehab, his future in Minnesota, and much more during a conversation with ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter. Here's what Kirk Cousins basically said. I would love to be back in Minnesota. Hopefully we can make that happen, right? It tends to be more of a February, March conversation, which is what he said, okay, early on in the season, before the season even started. He's like, we'll visit that, or we'll get to that when March comes, okay? We're not going to worry about that right now. We're going to worry about the season, okay? And this is more right now about just finishing the football season and trying to help us get to the playoffs and then stay in the playoffs, right? Kirk Cousins is cheering from the sideline. He's trying to help his team as best as possible, or as best as he can, and hopefully we can make a little bit of a playoff run. And Kirk Cousins, his wife joked maybe he can make it back in time for the Super Bowl. Doubt that'll happen. Actually, I know that won't happen. Not saying we won't make the Super Bowl. Anything can happen in the National Football League. It's going to be tough, all right, but I'm saying that Kirk Cousins definitely probably won't come back, at least for this season. Now, Cousins isn't losing sight of the big picture. Here's what he also said. When we get to late February, the NFL Combine, March, kind of try to see how 2024 is going to shake out. Basically what that means is that he's retelling you guys, or telling you guys again he's reiterating what he said back before the season started. Look, we'll worry about a contract extension, we'll worry about re-signing in March when that time comes. Okay, that's basically what Cousins is saying. He's like, look, right now we're worrying about this season, this team, and how we're doing currently. We're not going to worry about next year until we have to get to that point down in March, okay? Now, for Cousins, looking at his salary cap, what it might take. Under a salary cap expected to exceed $240 million, Spielberger, who's somebody, estimates Cousins' deal could come in around $60 million over 2 years, with $37.5 million in guaranteed. That $30 million annual salary works out to 12.5% of the projected cap in 2024. So yeah, it's a big chunk of money, but it's something that I think I could live with. 2 years, $60 million. You're only getting about half of that, a little over half of that, fully guaranteed, which Cousins has been known to sign these, $60 million contract, $80 million contract, fully guaranteed, get the bag, how you doing, keep moving. This year, however, that's not realistic, okay? He's getting up there in age, I want to say like 36 or something like that, just tore his Achilles. You can't ask for fully guaranteed money. Maybe you could put an injury guarantee in some of that area, an injury guarantee in that contract and help you out a little bit more. But right now, currently, that contract, 2 years, $60 million, $37.5 million guaranteed. I would be okay with, especially if we decide to go draft a young quarterback like a J.J. McCarthy or, one of those guys in the draft this season or this upcoming season, I should say. Because then that gives Kirk Cousins a little bit of time to figure out what he wants to do with his career. Does he want to retire? That gives us more time to figure out, is this guy that we drafted going to be the franchise going forward and stuff like that. So I really agree with that contract. I think it would be smart to do that if that's the direction the organization decides to go. Now, Cousins also said, I do believe there's probably my best football still up ahead of me. But I got to go prove that with the way I heal up and then with the way I play up ahead. The game is so much mental, and it's so much on past experiences. And if anything can tell me that that statement is true, it's the way Kirk Cousins was playing before he ruptured his Achilles. Absolutely balling out. The best quarterback statistically in the National Football League. Kirk Cousins was having one of his best seasons with Justin Jefferson. I mean, it was looking awesome, right? Minus the turnovers. Okay, we all understand that. So if you played like that this season, why can't you play like that next season? Or even better, just flourish in this offense under KOC another year with Justin Jefferson and stuff like that. I think his best football still potentially could be ahead of him, and signing him to a 2-year deal would be smart. Organizational-wise and moving forward-wise, I think Kirk Cousins will re-sign with the Minnesota Vikings. You guys can let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Do you think Kirk Cousins resigns? Do you want us to re-sign Kirk Cousins? Do you like that 2-year, $60 million contract? 37.5 fully guaranteed. Let me know your thoughts down below. Drop a like and subscribe to the channel. It'd be much, much appreciated. Have a great rest of your night, folks, and Skol Vikes.